In order for you to enlighten yourself, you must spread light within yourself. This is the Think Successfully Room. It's excellent. Man, welcome back to another episode of the Think Successfully Room. This is a platform where we focus on building mindsets. We building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your intelligence. I'm your host, QB So Effing Amazing. Got my brother Blaqamore back on again.
What's good? What's good?
Man, another informative conversation, man. So I got something that's interesting, man. I had sent to you. Right. So we both are familiar with meditating, right? Or spacing out, blacking out, whatever you want to call it. So it's a competition that I read about in an article out in South Korea called the Space Out competition. Right. And it's pretty much a competition that allows competitors to come out and pretty much meditate, you know what I'm saying, space out for 90 minutes. Now, I'm not finna try to, so every competition has a champion, right? I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name, right? But the thing about spacing out is that it gives your mind, right? When you allow your brain to space out, it allows you to be creative. It provides you with the clarity you need and the calmness you need as well, right? So in a sense, it takes skill. You have to have some level of skill to be able to sit there in complete calmness for 90 minutes, right? So I want to ask you, bro, like, would you be able to do nothing for 90 minutes? Like, I'm talking about no cellular device, no conversation, not even dozing off. It's just you just simply exist.
Yeah, especially if there's an incentive, like an immediate incentive for sure.
Yeah.
If it's got some money on the line, hell yeah. Now to do it just to prove I can do it, I still think I could if I put my pride on the line.
Right, yeah, because after reading his interview, man, so I think with meditating, man, it is you have to. There's practices as far as like breathing correctly, you know, being able to focus and being able to block out unnecessary thoughts in order to remain in complete calmness, right? Mm-hmm. But we talking about, you know what I'm saying, you're calm, you're motionless, like don't nothing else exist. And to me, like I say the most I meditated was probably 30 minutes, right? But we stay in a society where your cellular device is prominent, right? We stay in a society where distractions is everywhere. So being able to sit completely still for 90 minutes, at least to me, would be challenging. I feel like I would be able to do it, but it would be challenging, mainly because it's going to get to a point to where you're fighting thoughts. Trying to block out unnecessary thoughts or dozing off even, you know what I'm saying, simply because you're just sitting there, right? So when the first time you meditated, like what was your experience? How did you feel the first time you sat to yourself and became one with self?
First time I meditated where I feel like I really did something instead of just sitting with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
It was crazy because like I got to a point where I stopped breathing, at least as far as I could tell.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like I was like, because I was sitting there, and I'm like, focused on my breath, and then like and that's how I even teach people, like focus on your breath while you're meditating, and then after a while, your breath becomes so faint, it's like you're not breathing, and if you're focused on your breath, now you're not focused on nothing, and now you're like in this there's nothingness, this stillness or whatever.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
It is weird. And I was like, damn, I just did like some supernatural shit or something. Like I was
just finna say that it's like some type of supernatural shit. So that book I was telling you about by Dr. Joe Dispenza, I believe, Becoming Supernatural. He actually tells you how to meditate, right? And a lot of people think you got to sit in some type of, you sitting on the floor, legs crossed, and you humming and all that. You can be walking and meditating. You know what I'm saying? But like he explains how to like focusing on your breathing, and when you feel your thoughts like drifting away, you bring your attention back to your breathing, and eventually, like you said, you won't even realize you breathing, and it gets to a point to where something greater than you take over, and it's like you completely escape the negativity that's around you. It's the weirdest thing when you practice it, right?
Yeah.
So when I came across the space out competition, I'm like, damn, this shit we do on a daily basis. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's oh
Meditating is
wow,
some,
that's an interesting ass
yeah,
article you found.
yeah. I'm like, man, like a space out competition, and it's like I just feel like I don't have nothing wrong with the competition, but to be rewarded to do something you supposed to be doing anyway, it's kind of like,
Yeah, like the reward is within itself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly. So it's like you already getting rewarded by practicing meditation anyway. You know what I'm saying? So when I came across that, I'm like, okay, this is pretty interesting. But maybe they created this competition to get people in the habit. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I would assume you probably wouldn't go to this every year, but maybe they created something like this to get more people in the habit of spacing out. You know what I'm saying? Simply because that's difficult to do in the time that we stay in.
Yeah, and then I'm more than sure those contestants was getting all kind of accidental benefits. They probably ain't. Well, they in South Korea, so they probably are familiar with meditating anyway. But like,
Yeah.
as it reaches the West world, and over here, we pray first before we meditate. Over there, they meditate before they pray.
Right,
So
right.
just being exposed to that, you know what I'm saying, I think it'd be beneficial.
Man, like it'd be dope to experiment. Let's say me and you was out, we went out and experiment. Like I'm not nowhere particular, but it's a large crowd. It's this can be a festival, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And let's say we put our cell phones in our pocket, right? Turned them off, and we took a minute to observe everybody around us. I'm willing to bet any amount of money, at least 95% of the people sitting there with their head in their phone,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
a fact.
this lets me know that we have lost our way with ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Because we give our attention to our cellular devices. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it comes to becoming one with yourself, it's a difficult task. Like we last conversation we had, because it's things you're gonna face that you didn't know was there. And I think that's what people run from. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you take time, or you take that approach, you be brave enough to face yourself, then you know what I'm saying, you will realize that the cell phone isn't even all that important. You know what I'm saying? Because you begin to love yourself differently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the cell phone, or even just people try to distract themselves in general, whether it's the
Yeah.
cell phone, eating, or even like, maybe even like some of our aunties or moms, they always cleaning up something. We always trying to do something to stay distracted. Like being still, it
Yeah.
requires like a lot of effort. And then when you think about it, we know it's healing, and it's like a subconscious effort to run away from it, because you think about people who go to prison and then they get sent in the hole, and then they have all these spiritual moments sometimes that come out reformed just from being in the hole. Now they
That
ain't got no
is
choice
true.
but to sit still with their
Yeah, that
thoughts and
is true.
demons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, that's and they ask, and I think in the whole, I think it's complete dark, and it's dark in that motherfucker. So just
Yeah,
we talking about you not hearing shit but pipes and drips.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And niggas come out corrected, you know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, but not because, you know what I'm saying, I know the officer or whoever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, is watching over there, and they probably feel like they did somehow. I got him in check, but really
yeah.
he just
Real,
found himself on a deeper level.
real
And
shit.
that's what really put him in check.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Sitting in the dark alone, you know what I'm saying? This could be 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Shutting off all the lights and just allowing the space around you, and just
Yeah.
sitting there to yourself.
You ever been in them? What they call them? It's like these tanks, and it's like a sensory deprivation tank. You ever been in one of them?
Nah.
It's basically you go in this tank, and it like all you like floating on this water. Now me, I'm a little, I don't know how to swim.
Yeah.
I don't know how to back float. So I was having trouble in the sensory deprivation thing.
Yeah.
But in theory, it's cool because it takes away all your senses. Like you don't hear nothing. You're in darkness, of course you don't see nothing. And then they got like the water set up in a way where like you don't even feel it. So it kind of just feels like you just
Really?
in nothingness, in space, just in nothingness.
So you saying it so you just floating in the floating in it?
Just basically floating in there. I feel like you're basically just floating in. Like you don't feel none of your senses are being stimulated. None of them. It's like meditation to another level. But I wasn't able to take full advantage because, like I say, I'm retarded a little bit. I can't.
Man, where the fuck is it? Where you go to test it out?
So, I mean, I did it. It was it my birthday gift or her birthday gift? I think it was my birthday. It was even our birthday. I don't know. My girl like booked it for us though when we went to California.
Okay.
So it was out in LA somewhere, but I'm sure it's in different spots across America. But I did it somewhere in LA, just like Google sensory deprivation tanks, I believe is what they call.
That kind of remind me of I think it's called an anechoic room, where it is insulated. I'm trying to make sure. I want to make sure I pronounce. I think it's called anechoic. It's a room that eliminates all sound. You know, right? The technology of the sound.
And they couldn't. The sound. Was it this shit where they couldn't even last too long in there or something like that?
I think they started to go crazy because they couldn't hear shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's something about them not being able to hear sound that was making them go crazy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even like it was just them. All the fuck they hearing is they organs. Like whatever is happening in their body, that's what they hearing. Because the room is,
and it's crazy that something like that can make you go crazy. Like
like they was starting to lose their mind. I think that's the name of the room. Anechoic is I believe that's the term of it. You know what I'm saying? But my fault if I mispronounce that. But yeah, so the technology, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to acoustics, you know, the technology of it is crazy. How you can have certain panels to eliminate certain sounds, right? And then we talking about the technology of the room was so advanced that it eliminated all sound, so you couldn't hear anything, and the shit that you did hear was the system of your body, and it was causing them to lose their mind, bro. It was the weirdest thing. But that, like how you just explained that tank, how you it didn't stimulate none of your senses, and it really felt like you was floating in space. It kind of remind me of that. Just in a different way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's just eliminating everything, and it's forcing you to be one with you.
And that kind of reminds me, and it's kind of off topic a little bit because you're talking about how to take all the sound out. I just read this article the other day. They created some technology to where, like, you could be like in a crowd of people. And they got the technology where sound could travel through, and it passes everybody else's ears but the specific target. So like if they got a message specifically for you, somebody could send sound and it travels through, skips everybody's ears, and then it collapses in, or whatever the science shit is. Only you could hear it. Nobody else can hear it. Only you. And then that makes me wonder. And then by the time we hear about shit, you know, they've been had it for some years. It just makes me wonder how many times people was hearing voices in their head, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know. My conspiracy brain turns on at that point.
I wonder if it did it say, because it's a term that they use for that shit. I think it's called the fraction, I believe. I got a book right here on acoustic. I think it's called, but I guess it's it sound's ability to bend. You know what I'm saying? Depending on, I guess
right?
Yeah, it was sound's ability to bend. So I wonder if they had him set up in a certain space, like they had it calculated, like, look, if he's standing here and we got a sound source coming from this particular area, from my calculations, you know what I'm saying, sound should be able to bend and pass everybody and hit him.
Yeah, that sound like it was it. They say it's called audible enclave.
Audible enclave, huh? I ain't heard that
one. Or something. They use ultrasound waves, the same used in medical scans that humans can't hear. These waves travel silently and only become audible when they reach a specific spot.
So they did have them in a particular. That's fire. That is fire,
acoustic
man.
metasurfaces. Yeah,
That is, yeah, that is dope, man. Like I think sound is very interesting that we that we even bring up sound, man. It's dope how you can manipulate. Like if you're knowledgeable enough, you can manipulate that shit, man. That where you read that article at, Brody?
I sent it originally on Instagram. Let me see. Let me see what their source was. I can even send it to you. Y'all follow this page. They always be talking about like these futuristic technologies, things that we on the cusp of all the time. There's like Future Tech is the name of the page. Let me see. I don't see no other source they got cited on here though, but I can send it to you.
Yeah, let me check that out, man. I'm gonna go ahead and read on that, man. Um, would you say you meditate on is it daily? Is it a daily basis or is it every other day?
Like most of my habits, it's seasonal, and
See-
recently I have not been in season. I'm gonna be honest with you.
yeah,
But when it's in
yeah,
season, it's every day. You know, on an ideal, perfect day, I like to start in my day with a
no,
meditation. You know, with an intentional meditation, making sure I got like complete cognitive sovereignty. Like all my thoughts is mine, all my emotions is mine. I just
yeah,
like to center myself and remember that all this shit fake anyway, so I can create whatever reality I want to create.
right. Yeah,
You
so
know,
I wanted to ask, like when you I guess when you do meditate or the times you do meditate, what exactly is you going for? You know what I'm saying? As far as yeah, what exactly is you aiming for when you do meditate? Because everybody has a purpose or a reason why they meditate.
it really is that to make sure I stay in this mode. Like
Mm.
it's so easy to we all got like different modes, and it even brings out like different personality types of us. And I try to stay in like the my favorite version of myself, basically. So
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
meditate, ground, and come back to the version I want to present to the world for today. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? What I consider the winner version of me. That's what I go for every time.
yeah.
And also and of course like healing and restoration. And this is what I want to challenge people to do because it's almost fall, so that means we about to have the sniffles and stuffy noses here. So
Yeah, yeah, that shit coming. That shit coming, god.
it, if you don't believe the power of what we talking about with meditation, the next time you get a stuffy nose, sit your ass down, close your eyes, breathe slowly and rhythmically, even though you hardly could breathe because you got a stuffy nose, but just
Hmm.
focus on your breath. Give it about 10, 15 minutes. Watch your nose clear up. No nasal spray, no Tylenol, no none of that. Your nose will clear up. Now,
That's real holistic healing. That's real holistic healing right there. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a fact. And if
Mm.
meditation could clear your nose in 10 minutes, if you continue to do it, what else can it heal in your body?
Okay, this is what I want to throw in there, right? So how we brought up the focus on your breathing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I learned the cerebral spinal fluid. That's what I learned
Mm-hmm.
about. So when you stand up straight, right, allowing your spine to have like this, it's straight, no slouching
Okay.
and none of that, right? And you taking real deep and slow breaths, and you really focus on your breathing, right? What's happening is when you focus on your breathing, it allows that cerebral spinal fluid to go up the spine, and eventually it reaches the crown or the brain, and it begins to circulate. The fluid begins to circulate in the brain, and
Mm.
therefore giving you that clarity that you need, right? So for me, I started meditating because it was just a time where I was going through a lot. Like it's
Yeah.
times I just didn't want to feel shit, man. Like,
Mm.
it's been times where I done had suicidal thoughts. Not saying I had, but it's like in the position I am, I'm in. I'm kind of like I'm kind of like the Neo of the family. You know what I'm saying? When
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers got a problem, they run to me. You know what I'm saying? But they sometimes they fail to realize that I'm just one person. I can't
Yeah.
I
Should be
can't take
overwhelming.
care of everybody, you know what I'm saying? And there's times where it become very overwhelming. And
Mm-hmm.
meditating came is because I didn't it's times I just didn't want to feel nothing, man. I just wanted to escape for a minute. So
Mm.
learning how to breathe and then just be to myself, that's where I learned it. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed it. Because it's like and being able to just snap out your body at will is kind of like I just felt, I feel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel powerful at some point, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow, man. I'm finna go escape. Shit, I go close the motherfucking door and I'm in shit. It's just a body there. Like I'm somewhere else though, you know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
like
How'd you
that's
discover
how
meditation? Was it through reading a Joe Dispenza book or
Joe Dispenza, the Becoming Supernatural, like that was back in what was that? I want to say 2020 or 2021. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I believe it or not, bro. Like 2020 is when I really fell in love with books for real. Uh, I don't really know. Well, I had went through some shit with my college that kind of forced me to move back to my hometown simply because I couldn't afford to stay out there no more, and I kind of had to start from the ground up because I moved from an area where it was expensive. I couldn't afford it. I came back with my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? And that shit, I was at a low point and I was trying to figure this shit out. And that's when I turned to books for real. I ain't never really been a bookworm, but I turned to books and that's where all my answers was. And that's when I came across Dr. Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural. And he taught you the whole process on how to escape momentarily. Like if you going through problems, or if it's a lot of negativity around you and it's too much energy that you siphoning off, this is how you escape it. You know what I'm saying? To gain your energy back. And that's when he taught us, that's when he taught the cerebral spinal fluid and how to breathe and allow it to go to the brain and circulate the brain in order to give you clarity. It's just in the process when you there for so long and you focusing on your breathing for so long, you begin to escape and not even know it. That's and you just said that, you know what I'm saying? The shit become faint. And I think the more and more you do it, shit, it just become, you know what I'm saying, you just master. You perfect it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it kind of becomes a skill because
Yeah.
when I first started meditating, it would take a minute before I got to that bliss or whatever that level is that you trying to get to.
Yeah.
Now I can get there in a couple of minutes just because I know it's like muscle memories, like being doing so much.
I remember I had I had a homie, I'll never forget it, man. You got friends where you experience them at their low points and I'm like, man, I kind of feel bad for them. But I think I went outside to do something, man. And I came back. That nigga was sitting in the middle of the kitchen in a chair with his eyes closed. And at the time, I ain't know shit about meditating. I was just in my mind, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is you doing?
Yeah, right, yeah.
He's sitting in the middle of the chair, hands out like this and shit, eyes closed, and he's just in it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is you doing? And that nigga opened one eye up and he was like, bro, I'm meditating, bro. I'm like, man, this nigga crazy. And then eventually I came across meditating and I see what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? It allowed him to escape his problems, man. Yeah. That shit, that's fire, man.
Yeah, I was that friend except with my daughter's mom at the time. I'm sitting there meditating in the middle of the night. It's like everybody supposed to be asleep. I'm like, this is my quiet time. I'm up meditating. And I told you, like I say, I get to a point where like I'm not breathing. She thought a nigga was really dead. She's like, hey. I'm like, damn, man. I was there. You just fucked up my whole shit. You know how hard it was to get to that level.
Goddamn, man. You was in it. You was finna take a flight and she done fucked the whole flight up.
Yeah, man.
Goddamn, man. But that's good though. She was concerned though. Like she messed up the process, but she was concerned though. You know what I'm saying? But absolutely, man. So I definitely want to encourage people, man, to if you don't meditate, to give it a try. The Supernatural, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, that's a perfect start. You know what I'm saying? He also provide not necessarily a worksheet, but they additional documents with the book that's more illustrated, showing you how the body is formed, like showing you how atoms become molecules and how molecules create tissue, and then how, you know what I'm saying, the tissue create, or how the cells create create tissue, and then how the tissue create organs into a body. Like he go through the whole process, but then also giving you game on how to master meditating as well. And I promise you, just from experience and from Blaqamore's experience, that meditating is another form of medicine, man, that you would definitely appreciate. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I think a lot of, you know what I'm saying, the people that have did things like committed suicide, you know what I'm saying, I feel like meditating could have probably helped them or saved them, you know what I'm saying, by allowing them, because that's where suicide stems from, them having problems that they may be overwhelmed with it and not knowing how to handle it. But you know what I'm saying, meditating is a medicine that allow you to escape that, so you don't harm yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely my advice, man. Y'all pick up on this medicine, man.
Yeah. It is hard to stay down and sad and depressed if you practice movement and meditation.
Yeah,
every day or almost every day.
Yeah. And another thing, meditating, it comes in all forms. You can be walking and meditating.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You can be in nature. You ain't necessarily got to be laying down or Indian style on the carpet or nothing. You can be walking and meditating. You know what I'm saying? You can be riding a bike and meditating. You know what I'm saying? Just letting nature take over.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
And I want to say this too, because I hear this a lot. When you sit down and you try to meditate, just because you can't turn your thoughts off don't mean that you're doing it wrong. That's how it go. Like
yeah.
You just let them go. And especially if you never did it before, you'd have been alive 3, 4, 5 decades. Of course, you're going to have a whole lot of thoughts that you got to filter through. It's okay. Yeah. You might not even get it in the first 10 sessions. That's all right. Let them go. It's like clearing the cache on your laptop. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a while. You got years.
I like that analogy. That was fire.
It's like years of thoughts and emotion backlog to process.
And then it's gonna be some shit that come to your mind, you'll probably sit there and say damn like 50 times. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some shit that you probably forgot about, that you ain't been thinking about it because you just been on the go. You keep people around you all the time and you just ain't really had time. Like you ain't really created the space for that shit to really come to you, so it's coming to you late. So when it hits you, you probably gonna sit there and say damn to yourself about 10, 20 times because you know, like, damn, I need to correct that. I need to fix that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going, like, a lot of people think they know they self, but they don't really know they self for real.
Sure don't.
And until they get they self that time to really allow your thoughts to that shit that's living in you. You gotta allow that shit to come out. And the only way it's gonna happen is by giving yourself time and space, man.
Yeah. And I also say this, because clearly we probably both talk about this a long time. I know I can.
Yeah.
But meditation, it's a natural, because I see it, we've shown a great interest in going on trips with shrooms. You can just meditate for free. It's a little easier, it's a little safer if you just sit and meditate. It's just gonna take a little bit longer. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Looking for off the shrooms, sit your ass down and meditate for an extended amount of time. Same thing. It's safer, it's easier, free.
Yeah. Like you say, it just take time and practice. Speaking of shrooms, though, I tried acid one time.
How was that?
Never do it again. You know what I'm saying? Only because it's like when they say acid, it depends on the company you keep around. So that would depend on, a good trip or a bad trip. I had a bad trip, you know what I'm saying? Simply because of the girl I was talking to at the time. She, I don't know, like she was just, I don't know. Her attitude was getting to me, but I had took acid at the same time. She had pulled that, and it caused me to think about a lot of shit that I didn't want to think. So I had a roommate at the time, and I had to literally lock myself in my room because I was afraid of doing something to him because of the thoughts I was having. Damn. I had to lock myself in the room. You know what I'm saying?
You had the willpower to know to do that though. Like,
I had the willpower to know. Like, man, because even when niggas snap, like niggas that snap or walk through and kill, I feel like they know what they doing. They know they don't know why they doing it, but they know that they like, damn, something caused me to snap. And acid really did that. Acid made you think about some shit that you didn't want to think about, and it was because of the company you had. around you. So I had to lock myself in my room because my roommate had a disorder. I forgot the name, but he'll fall asleep at the drop of a dime, and that nigga be out.
Like
you know what I'm
narcolepsy
saying?
or something?
That's what it was. Yeah. That's the term. You know what I'm saying? So I had to lock myself up because, you know what I'm saying, that was my boy, man. I ain't want to do nothing to harm him. And eventually, after being in the dark for so long, I passed out and slept that shit off. And the next morning, I had man, I'm never finna take acid again, man, because I didn't like that trip. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
you know how
that's why I
you
get
know
scared to try it.
you know how when you when you watching a cartoon or something, it's an angel on one shoulder and the devil on this shoulder telling you to. That's what that shit was. The devil was, you know what I'm saying? He was telling me to do this, and that, because and mind you, bro, I was already going through shit at the time anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just the wrong time, and so that right there, it was kind of like, okay, that was like when you brought up the shrooms, like, man, it's much better to just go on a natural high, man. Like leave that shit alone.
For sure.
Yeah, straight. So that's what I'm gonna end it with.
All right, good end the point.
Man, bro, appreciate you, man. I feel like that was a good little conversation, man.
It was. That definitely was.
Man, I hope the people got something out of that. We try our best to keep these conversations authentic. Never wanted to feel like an interview, like I'm interrogating somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just a conversation between me and Blaqamore, and man, I just hope y'all took what we said and y'all utilized the information, or at least the advice, and y'all do something with it, because it truly is medicine, and it will help whatever it is you're going through. This can be relationship problems. This can be something personally. This can be money. Maybe you're in a financial bond and you feel like you lost, man. You walk, you meditate, and allow time to yourself. Allow that time to be your medicine, and trust me, you will figure it out.
And I know we're closing out, but you brought up relationship, and I just want to reiterate, we ain't just talking, because I could remember a specific time where, had I not meditated earlier in that day, the conversation that me and my lady had later that day would not have went the way it went had I not taken time to prepare myself with meditation. It would have went a whole nother way, and we may not be together today. Like that should literally save my relationship.
So now I got another question for you, bro. So a lot of times when it comes to relationships, and obviously everybody go through shit in a relationship. You're gonna have arguments, you're gonna have up and downs. Now, your actions will determine the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can step away, you can think about it, come back and try it again. But then sometimes you got people that don't know how to control their emotions and their actions. And that's how domestics and shit happen, because you ain't take the time to yourself to gather your thoughts and came back. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took from when you said that. It's like that shit saved your relationship because you took time and you meditated about it. Sure. Which is kind of like a form of prayer. You meditated about that shit.
Yeah, and like I say, this wasn't a fight I was anticipating for today. Let me, like we say, like, what am I aiming for? I'm just aiming to show up as like the best version of myself. That's all the meditation was about. And then I get hit with a curveball, like, whoa, shit, didn't see this shit coming. But since I was grounded, I kind of was, I guess, emotionally or spiritually prepared, which I would not have been had I not taken some little 20 minutes earlier in the day just to reground myself. So when he mentioned, if you're going through finances or relationships or whatever, we ain't just talking. Like,
facts,
it's real.
Facts. Because how you said relationships, I done been in a relationship problem at a young age too. I'm talking about like 22, 23. I was going through it. Fine, you know what I'm saying? I was a independent student in college, trying to put myself through college. I was having money like, it was a lot of shit I was going through personally that I had to gather myself for real, that I could have easily. That's where the suicide shit came from. I could have easily ended myself, but the meditating, that shit was extremely important for you to take time and think about yourself, right? Think about your next move, because what happens is that we don't give ourselves time to think for real, and we just act off emotion. When we going through shit, that the emotion will get the best of us, and the next thing you know, you end up doing some shit that you normally wouldn't do. Like it got you out of character. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's like bro said, this shit is coming from a level of experience. We not on here talking just to try to sell y'all or give y'all content just for the hell of it. This shit is experience, and we letting y'all know what meditating did for us. And the fact that, you know, South Korea has a competition like a space out competition. It was kind of like damn, they competing for this shit.
Right.
But I like the fact that they creating a space for people to get one with themselves, and ultimately that can save a lot of lives, man. Yes, sir. Man, peace. Appreciate you, brother. So, man, like I said, I'm gonna make sure I keep throwing this in there. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Think Successfully room. A lot of dope content, a lot of informative information to be going on, from artificial intelligence to holistic healing with my brother Blaqamore, even financial literacy. When you come to the Think Successfully room, you'll be getting one of those three. So yeah, definitely make sure y'all subscribe to the channel and get notified when new video, new content drops. So, man, without that being said, y'all, life is good. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the guys and goddess, forever and always, my nigga. Think successfully. It's excellent.